Good morning, people. Hello and welcome from my hotel, Sarovar Portico in Somnath. Still at the hotel, just woke up, freshened up. We're gonna go out and explore the town, starting with the revered Somnath temple. Cannot vlog over there. They take all the phones and bags and everything before you enter the premises. But anyway, before we go there, we're gonna go down and have ourselves a buffet breakfast. So let's get started and enjoy the rest of the day in Somnath. So we are approaching the massive entrance to the temple. So most of the cities in Gujarat where I've been, where you start entering, they have these kind of gates, which I really like. And at the end of this gate should be the temple premises. I went there yesterday just while randomly exploring the hotels and looking for a place. And I also asked the security guard of the hotel about the places to see. And he did mention that most of them are clustered around the temple itself, so you can check those out. And next to Veeraval, where the train station is, you can also check out Baltirth, I think is the name of the place. So there's one more spot over there, and that's pretty much about it, what this city has to offer. And should take about 2 to 3 hours stop, so it's not a very long kind of expedition. Anyway, let's get through this gate and check out the temple first. So that's the temple. There's another Lakshmi Narayan temple over there, and this side is the parking. Let's go find ourselves a parking and go inside the Somnath temple first. Found one of the nice shady spots under the tree here, so that should be cool. By the time I get back, the Activa shouldn't be boiling. Very few of the covered parking spots here for two-wheelers at least. Yeah, that's the guy who was explaining. So there is a confluence point here of 3 rivers, which is unique. I want to see. There is Golokdham, Veeraval is where the Balkatirth is, there's a Ram temple, and then we're going to the Srinath temple first. So that's the parking entrance, and right here there is this cloak room, so we're gonna deposit everything. See you after a short break after the darshan.
A few inches later.
Alright, so finally back out, had a great darshan. The temple is like really beautiful, and the temple has a whole lot of history spreading over lots of millennials. The temple first built by the moon god was actually destroyed over the years and then rebuilt, and every time it was rebuilt, it was built better and stronger than before. I think lots of Mughal emperors also looted it for its wealth, but the faith and the prosperity and prominence of this temple never went down even till today. And of the 12 revered Jyotirlings in the Hindu mythology, this is the first one. That's why for the Hindus this is like a very prominent temple, and a lot of people come over here to visit. And behind the temple premises is also the seaside, where the light walking path actually stretches all the way to the South Pole. So that was an interesting experience, and the sea breeze is nice and cool despite the sun. It was very peaceful to sit there. I sat there for like 45 minutes. And inside the temple, luckily the people were a little bit quiet here, so had a good darshan over there. So that was nice. And what else? Oh yeah, so aside from these locker rooms over here, there is also storage facilities inside the temple, and I'm pretty sure those are free of cost, like voluntary services. So probably try and give your bags over there instead of here. I saw this first, so I gave it here. Then also the slipper lockers, like the storage rooms for your footwear, is also inside the temple premises. So only at the security gates itself, people start leaving their slippers outside, thinking they have to pay, or that's where the temple starts. But actually the temple starts from much inside, and there's a possibility to deposit your footwear inside. So do that instead, or you'll be stepping on rubble and hot surfaces for no reason. And for now it's just noon. The stones were nice and cool, so I had a good darshan, didn't have to feel like I was stepping over lava. But as the temperature rises, they're gonna heat up as well, so be mindful of that. try to come here early. They do aartis 3 times during the day, so you can check that out as well. I think it's at 7 a.m., 1 p.m. and sometime in the evening, which I don't remember. And in the evening, after around 6:30, they do a light and sound show for almost half an hour that allows ticket purchase until late-ish PM or something, starting at 6:30. It's 30 rupees, but it's also inside the premises. So again, no photography, videography allowed, but that's also the story behind how the temple was destroyed and rebuilt over the years. So they would do a light and sound depiction over the surface of the temple itself. So probably if I have the time, I'll come back and check it out later tonight. But for now, let's start walking around the premises and explore the other temples in the vicinity and check out the ocean walk. So that behind me is another beautiful temple, and right next to it is the ocean walk. So let's go also visit the temple and then check out the views from the ocean. I'm guessing the views that I was seeing from the temple for the ocean side might also be visible here. But I wonder what ocean is this, because I thought there should be Arabian Sea here, but probably that's Indian Ocean. We're gonna go check it out afterwards. This is the coastal side and also very hot, so they grow a lot of coconuts out here. Between 40 to 50 rupees depending on the one, if you want with the cream, just pure water, mixed size, whatnot. So keep having coconut water to rehydrate. Interesting concept. There's a 5 rupees entrance ticket to get to the seaside. That's the first time the seaside is being regulated, but it's not very expensive. This is a little bit confusing. I checked the maps. It is actually the Arabian Sea, it's not the Indian Ocean. So I don't know why they call it the ocean view and not the sea view. But either way, there's a nice walking promenade. There are lights here as well, so I guess it's good for the evening. But the waves here are very choppy. I'm told that the beach and everything would close at some point in the evening. So this is not like a 24/7 open beach kind of concept. And that's the Somnath temple. Where did it go on the camera? Ah, there. There. So I'm trying to get to the end of the promenade or somewhere in the middle where I can get a good view of the Somnath temple, so you can also see the ocean view that I was seeing. And these stones, they give you a kind of feels of the Marine Drive from Mumbai. They have the same stones all around now, probably because of the choppy waves. And not very many people in the water as well for the same reason, so I'm going to enjoy it from a distance anyway. I have a pool to myself most of the time, so I don't really care if I don't get seawater here just yet. It would have been cool, but not like this. Oh yes, from here you can see the entire grandeur of the main temple. Looks very, very beautiful. Also on the inside is very nice. So I'm gonna try and take a selfie with this from the promenade side. So yes, this is the riverfront seaside promenade of the temple, not the river, where I was seated. So there are like some sheltered areas here, a few benches. You sit over there and you overlook the sea and look at the strength of the waves. Even today these are like very, very strong waves. But it's a cool breeze and a nice viewpoint over here, so good place to hang out. Lovely vibes out here at the Somnath beach, and then they are also offering camel and horse walking tours of some kind, like short walks by the beachside. And I would have gone into the water, but yeah, I still have some driving to do. And then this is not the soft golden sand at the beach. This is like some other kind of sand that gets stuck to your feet, and if you put on footwear, then it creates abrasions on your skin, which is very painful. So don't want to get my feet wet like this, or myself wet, because still have some riding to do today, some other places to be. So let's check out the next spot in the vicinity, see what else we find. So right outside the exit of the temple, there is the Sri Ram temple. So we are gonna go inside and check out what they have here. There's a nice bow and arrow at the entrance, looks really cool. This is a very lovely, peaceful and very big temple, and downstairs they also have lunch facilities free of cost. So I took a coupon. So inside the temple there is a guy sitting giving out coupons for this. Without the coupon you cannot have a meal. So we're gonna go down, it's until 2:30 p.m. So it's just one way, then I walk around a little bit and then go down to grab some lunch, because this is not a regular lunch, it's more like a prasad offering from the temple, so it's very good for you. Okay, so after a nice tasty meal, I'm just like 150 meters away from the Ram Mandir, where there is the confluence of the three rivers I was talking about before. Asked the auto rickshaw guy about the directions, and he was kind enough to even give me a sort of a card to keep. I don't know where I kept it. Ah yeah, here. That has all the places to visit listed on it. So he said I get to keep it because he was feeling very kind. And that's the one. So it says Hiran, Kapil and Saraswati rivers. So that's the three rivers that have a confluence here. Well, this is not what I expected. One, it's a low tide, and two, it's very nasty right now. So, but this is definitely the spot where there's the confluence of the three rivers. And I think I said Kapil, it's Kapila. So Hiran, Kapila and then Saraswati rivers have a confluence here, but right now can't really count the number of rivers. It's very low water here. Here they are giving pigeon feed, and the kids are playing with the pigeons. So you can also feed the pigeons and maybe the fishes out here, but that's about it. That can be done at this point. So probably we're gonna go walk around that side, try and check out if there's anything interesting. One thing I also noticed out here, not only is the air humid, which is obvious because it's the seaside on this side, but also has some sort of a stink in it. I can't tell whether it's seaweed kind of stink or fish kind of stink or like a mix of everything. So yesterday, even at the hotel inside the pool, when I was swimming, some people came over and were complaining to the staff that the water stinks, and I was surprised, like, is it the water that is smelling? But yeah, it wasn't the water, it was the air naturally that has this kind of like some sort of very peculiar stink here that is not very prominent in the rest of the coast, but somehow here is like very strong. Anyway, let's take a walk by the ghat area, see if we find anything interesting. Nothing much to see here, just a cow tanning by the beach side. Yeah, but this is not the beach, this is like a confluence side, but more or less I guess she wanted to tan as well. So the Triveni Sangam was a little bit boring, kind of underwhelming, so I started moving and I saw some board sign. There were 2-3 spots right opposite that place. So right behind me is the Sun Temple, and down there is the Kund Pond for the sun god. So let's go check that out first. There's some water there, not super clean, but there's the sun god, and I think underneath is another goddess deity, which I don't know who that is. But yeah, so there were sun temple here, so decided to check that out. And then there's also caves of the 5 Pandava brothers marked down there, so I want to go check that out next. This again is okay, but I was here at the temple anyway, so I wanted to see this. This is a goddess temple. I can only read this word, which means the caves, and this is Ram Mandir, so some goddess temple in the caves. And then this is also the route for the 5 Pandava caves. Let's use my cheat card, try and figure out whose gufa is this. That's Hinglaj Mataji's gufa and Pandava caves here. So I made it to the Pandav Gufas, but unfortunately the gufa, the cave entrance is very narrow. It goes very deep, and because of my injuries I didn't want to kind of brush it against the cave walls and get injured further. So I skipped that. It was a bit of a treacherous entrance, and instead I came to the shorelines again. So that is a very unique spot in itself. So this area is known as Banganga. In the water there is a shivling there, and 500 meters apart there's another shivling over there. These shivlings are naturally washed by the water of the Arabian Sea, and during high tides they even disappear to some extent. And the story goes that there was a Jara named hunter that shot an arrow towards Lord Krishna from here, after which Lord Krishna returned back to his abode, and this was the very spot where he shot it from. And this is somewhat of an underrated gem along the coast in the Arabian Sea, so let's take a closer look. So I can spot 2 shivlings here, one there, one over there. There is a flag that demarcates all the shivlings. There's another one over there. I think I saw one on the way over. So there might be total 5 or 6 such shivlings out here. Not really sure how many they are, but at least I can see 2 right in front of me. That was a very nice and unique experience. Never seen something like this before, but on this trip I've seen this thing twice. The other one, Gangeshwar Mahadev in Diu, and now this. Although that was low tide, so I can only hear stories that this happens, but this I saw this live in action. Really cool. Next we are already in Veraval city, which is like the city next door, but it's so close that you don't feel it. There's also this Bhalka Tirth, which is a kind of Hindus temple, which is also visited by people who come to Somnath, because Veraval is where the train station is at the moment for people to visit the Somnath Jyotirling. So we're gonna go there, and that's gonna be the last stop for the day before I head back to take a dunk in the pool. So this temple has a very interesting story as per the board sign inside. The folklore goes that there used to be, so the same guy that shot an arrow that I told you about at Banganga, basically this is the spot where Krishna was resting under a tree, and he saw his foot and thought that was the face of a deer. So he shot an arrow that kind of landed up in Krishna's foot, and then, so this is where the Krishna laid down and he got injured, and he forgave the hunter for shooting at him, and he basically exclaimed that whatever happened through his wishes, so it's completely fine. And this was the first time I saw Lord Krishna kind of semi lying down, and it's a very beautiful deity. So it's a nice temple worth visiting. There is also a Ram temple nearby, and there is a massive shivling over there that I was seeing. Try to go out of the door and try and take a look, but after that it's swimming pool time, because it's 3 p.m. and I'm sweating like crazy now, so time to take a break. And then in the evening we'll see what we want to do. once it's time for sundown. Okay, so after a nice and long 1 hour swim with the entire swimming pool to myself, we are back to pavilion. I'm back in the parking lot for the Somnath temple. But I'm not going inside the temple to check out the light and sound show, but instead I'm going behind to the beach side to check out the sunset from over there. It's about time. The sun is about to set, so let's go get ourselves a nice spot. Two random guys just saw me vlogging and asked if they should subscribe to my channel. I was like, why is this even a question? Just do it. Costs you nothing and helps me grow instead.